Before the crowds, there is silence, an empty church, flickering candles, and icons that have watched generations come and go. For more than a century, St. George Greek Orthodox Church stands in Bakersfield, California, rooted in tradition, unchanged in form. At a time when churches across the United States are shrinking, this one is growing. According to the 2020 U.S. Religious Census, Orthodox memberships has declined nationwide. But here, the trend is reversing. To understand why, you have to go back. In the early 1900s, Greek immigrants arrived in Bakersfield with little more than their faith. In 1924, they laid their first foundation. Not a church, but a small hall, a place to gather, to pray, and to remember who they were. There was no priest, no permanent church, only a community, holding on to what they brought with them. By 1940, that community had grown, and so did their vision. In 1947, construction began on the church that still stands today, a symbol not just of faith, but of permanence. What began as a small group of immigrants became something more, a foundation and a legacy. By 1956, what began as a journey had taken root. St. George Greek Orthodox Church was consecrated, a defining moment that established a permanent home for generations to come. What began as a small group of immigrants became something more, a foundation and a legacy. And today, it is still growing. On a wall, a line of presidents is displayed, each one a steward of the community, each one responsible for carrying it forward. Among them are families, whose name repeat across generations. My family is one of them. My great-great-uncle, my great-uncle, my grandfather, and today, my mother, have all served as president of this church. My grandfather, Alex Theodore, arrived in 1953, my grandmother, Dina, a year before. Like many who came before them, they built a life here, through faith, through work, through community. In 1972, he became president. Today, that role is held by my mother.
The people that shaped this church is directly behind me. There are many families whose fathers, grandfathers, great-grandfathers were presidents of this community, and they're the ones who built this community. They gave us the vision when they first started, and it was up to us to carry it forward.
One of those beginnings was Dina Drulius. She immigrated from Greece with her brother Chris. Years earlier, her uncle, Tom Drulius, had already made the journey, settling in Bakersfield and building a life. Following in his footsteps, Dina and Chris traveled through Ellis Island and took the railroad west to Bakersfield. Like so many others, they became a part of St. George Greek Orthodox Church.
We knew we do that because we said, we in America, we're going to learn English. So we did little by little. And we went to the night school. But at the same time, it's a book. My uncle got us this book when it's English and Greek and translate from English to the Greek, what it means. And every night, after I held my hand, and my brother helped my uncle with the liquor store and everything, we sit down, at the two of us, we had to wait. We went to the American Embassy. We wait and ask us one by one to go and ask us questions. When I come to them, gentleman, in the office, he asked me questions. I told him before you start anything, I just want to tell you exactly the way I feel. I love America, and I want to become an American citizen, and I want to work and be honest. The way I feel, I explained to him. He didn't keep me now very long. He says, you pastor, go. That's all right. I did, and I live in America. So, and then, of course, and then it was time for them to get married. We got a big, nice friend, and this gentleman, this young guy, he wanted to come to America. And they asked me, our good friends. They had a picture of him. They used to talk to him in the phone.
Alex's family knew Dina's family from their villages in Greece. Alex and Dina used to write love letters towards each other from America to Greece. But before anything was decided, Dina's uncle visited the Theodore family to make sure Alex was a good match. They spent time together, they got to know one each other, they danced, and in the end, he gave his approval.
1956, we got married. We had a nice Greek wedding in the Greek Orthodox Church.
Oh yeah.
And we had the Greek bands, and here we went, opera with the Greeks, you know. So that's my life, and I have great, great future.
Yes.
Got a wonderful husband. We had 3 kids, 2 girls, and a boy.
My parents would be so proud. I know. Being elected as president, I'm carrying on their legacy, and both of my parents have passed away. But I know that it was almost like, okay, it's your turn. I expect you to carry on what we started and to continue that, and know that we are here supporting you and reminding you of who you are, where you came from, and that your Orthodox faith is what got you where you're at because of them.
In 2024, St. George Greek Orthodox Church marked a century, 100 years of faith. On June 1st, generations came together to honor the past and to look toward the future. That day, Karen Go, mayor of Bakersfield, presented an official proclamation recognizing the church's lasting impact on the city.
It means a lot. First of all, it means a lot for our community because, here's an organization that's been in this community for 100 years. Not just as a silo and not just as a freestanding church, but as part of the community. The Greeks and the people that have been part of this church for all this 100 years have contributed greatly to Bakersfield. I think also it says a lot for the steadfastness of the faith and the fact that we've been here, we've continued to grow, and we are continuing to grow even now.
But that 100 years was a milestone. We just loved that celebration. It was so important to our community to share that with whomever wanted to be a part of it. And it meant a lot being involved in that.
It all started with one idea from Harry Chiklenis, whose vision helped turn a century of history into a moment of celebration.
Believe me and listen carefully. Over the years, there were Greeks who started this. But in the meantime, we have people right now in our parish that are from all other countries. All as valuable, as important as all the Greeks. And because of all of you, we are successful in producing this parish and this evening. I just want you to know that it's very important for me to see you all enjoying our heritage, which is very, very valuable to all of us. Thank you again for being here. Thank you again for loving, caring, and supporting the St. George Greek Orthodox Church community of Bakersfield. Thank you.
It was meaningful because there aren't very many communities in Bakersfield that have been around for 100 years. That is incredible. And we are still here, and I think we're stronger than we were before. And that's also. I wanted to make sure that the stories were told of our ancestors and what they went through in coming to America, because many of them didn't make it. And those who did were real survivors. They were very scrappy, they were very strong, and their stories are meaningful because it lets us know we come from really good stock.
For more than 50 years, another tradition has brought the public in, the annual Greek Food Festival. What began as a celebration of heritage became something bigger, a place where culture is shared.
I think first and foremost, people come for the food. I really believe that's the major thing, because our food is made on site, it's fresh, which is kind of unusual these days. And then they arrive, eat the food, and find out how fun it is and how nice everyone is, and they feel welcomed and want to stay. We have some people who stay hours and hours.
For some, this church is inherited. For Ted Buddy, it was a choice. And in the choice, he found belonging.
My name is Teddy Milton Buddy, and my baptismal name is Theodosius. After being told twice that the education program with Catholic Church is 2 years, my wife is Roman Catholic, I told my wife, if I'm going to have to do all this, I might as well do something along my own heritage, which is Serbian. I was aware there was a Serbian Orthodox Church. And Holy Saturday of 1998, I was baptized and chrismated. My big desire at the time was just to get baptized. So then I felt kind of it'd be hypocritical if I just get baptized and not attend church. Well, I'm a reader, a tonsured reader. Light the candles on the iconostasis to want to commemorate all the saints and set the ambiance. But try to clean up and assist the priest. There's a lot to do behind the backgrounds, and then after getting, not that I'm essential, but there's a lot of different things that don't get done if it seems if I don't do it. So some of us make it a point to say hello to new people, invite them in, and such. And I'm part Mexican, and quite a few of the new people coming in and choirs are Mexican, which kind of surprises me. We don't have any. No part of the service is in Spanish. Part of being Orthodox is to be quiet and to listen, to hopefully hear the voice of God talking to us. And I think some people were doing that naturally, and they've been listening.
Of my soul and say
I think over the years that I've been here, we've become more multicultural, as Orthodoxy should be. It's not about being Greek. Although we're Greek Orthodox, that's the history of the church, is rooted in the Greek culture and the Greek language. But it's become much more welcoming, I think, for everybody. And I think, honestly, since COVID, we've actually, our doors have, or our pews have filled. I think COVID kind of made a lot of, especially young people, yearn for something. They're looking for something. You spend a lot of time at home, a lot of time on the internet, and a lot of people have sort of stumbled upon the church. So I think that's something we've seen that's changed since COVID for sure.
St. George Greek Orthodox Church also got a new priest in 2024.
I am Father Sotirios Rousakis. We have seen a large influx of people finding out about Orthodoxy, whether it be online or just by going to a church or what have you. And this is something new for me, because in all my previous parishes, this wasn't taking place. I'm teaching a class now of catechism, a catechism class of more than 40 people, and they're attending on a regular basis. And this is happening all over the country right now. I know several priests who I either went to school with or I know from being in an area or whatnot, and they're doing the same thing. One of my brother priests in the state of Colorado has a class that he teaches of 200 catechumens learning about the Orthodox faith. So I believe the future is bright, and I believe that the church will continue to grow. Yes, we are a Greek Orthodox Church here in Bakersfield, but we do have all different kinds. We have Arabs here, Antiochians, we have Romanians, we have Russians. Our doors are open and our arms are open, and we accept everybody.
I think that bond, and my kids and all the other kids who are now young adults, who are now going to be taking on the mantle of leading this church at some point, it's really tied us together. The community here is so strong, and we're not all Greeks, we're not all Russians, we're not all Arabics, we're all of them. We're everything.
For over 2,000 years, the traditions of the Greek Orthodox Church have remained unchanged, and somehow they are still as relevant today as they were at the very beginning.
One of the beauties of the Orthodox Church is it's never changing. We continue to teach and live the faith, the Orthodox faith, as it was lived and taught back then. Never changing.
If we lose our traditions, then we kind of lose perspective. And it's important to keep that going.
I tell parents all the time that, we need to continue to teach our children our faith. And it's important for them to bring their children to church, because they are not the future, they are the present. And the present is what will take us into the future. So, with continuing to do the things that we do, the services, the programs, the ministries, so on and so forth, that is what will continue the faith on into the future. But it's the children that we have to engulf and continue to take care of and minister to and teach, so that they can turn around and do the same for their children when the time comes.
And in the next generation, that legacy comes to life. From children to young adults, tradition is carried through dance and faith. For Nick and John, it's found in Greek dance and Sunday services, where what was given to them now continues.
We do. It's not just about being Greek, right? It says Greek Orthodox Church, but really we have so many ethnicities here. I can't even, we say the Lord's Prayer in so many different languages, and it's, we have events, festivals, and so you really, we're a family. You really feel like a family here. And
I think that after an accumulation of time being here, you start to feel a sense of belonging, and you start to feel like the people here are your family, and this church is actually like your home or your second home.
You go into an Orthodox church and you see this beautiful iconography, this painting. You see a priest wearing beautiful vestments, and it's attractive in a loving way. It kind of touches our senses. There's communion, your taste, incense, your smell. Visually it's beautiful. So that's probably why it seems different.
I think it's all beautiful, and I think that it gives me a sense of peace that these are all the traditions of the time of Christ with the apostles, the apostolic succession. It's all preserved, and it's incorrupt. So that gives me a lot of good feeling and peace.
I didn't choose this church. I was born in Russia, adopted and raised here. But as I've grown, and as this church has grown, I'm starting to understand why people choose to stay. Because people are looking for something, for purpose, for connection. And here at St. George, they're finding it.
There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on in our country. There may be a lot going on with us. But last night I read this verse. In the world you have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. If this doesn't give you confidence, I don't know what will.
This may sound odd or crazy, but the church is never empty. It's never empty, even when you're in there by yourself. You feel the presence of God, but you feel the presence of just those people who have carried on and have shouldered the faith throughout the centuries. And so I feel a connection to our ancestors in Orthodoxy.
I had an experience not that long ago. I walked into the church, there was nobody here, and I was going back into the altar to do some cleaning. And when I walked in and opened the door to the altar, I felt this embrace. I can't explain it, even when I talk about it. It was as though God embraced me and said, "Welcome to my home."